Hello, this video will be a welcome and an introduction to Calculus 2. I'm Eric Sponza. I will be your instructor for this semester. We do have quite a bit to get through today. We want to start off first talking about that this is an online course and get through a lot of the specifics of how we'll actually run. Then we'll take some time, go through the syllabus, and then during both of those, and then a little bit more afterwards, we'll talk a little bit more about a few specifics for Calc 2, just some good information for you as you get started, and overall how this class is going to go. So I would suggest get comfortable, because again, we've got a lot to say. Let's start off first things first, talking about the online presentation for this course. We're really going to use three main components for this. We're going to use Blackboard, which is going to basically be our main hub. Anything that I send to you through email, any information, videos, any kind of my notes or anything, any kind of documents, the tests you get, everything will be posted on Blackboard. Anytime there are any dates, when a test is due, when it will be distributed, things of that nature, that's pretty much posted right on the main page under the not the assignments, the information, the announcements tab. That's right off the bat when you first open. If you go under course documents, there you can find your syllabi. They're also attached to the email that you received on day one, but they're also located under course documents. When we get further along, we start getting into tests and quizzes. Those will also be posted there. Any of the videos and notes that I give to you, those will all be posted under the course outline tab. And then all of your homework, which will come from the textbook, but the actual page and problem numbers, that'll be posted under the assignments tab. So again, Blackboard will really pretty much keep everything. That'll be a nice organized place for you to get anything. You will be getting all this information elsewhere, but just if you, anytime there's anything lost, anything you need to go back and find, a date that you forgot about, Blackboard is certainly a good place to go. The next part is your email. I only have access to your QCC email accounts. All the emails that I send to you are through Blackboard, and those directly connect with your QCC email. So you want to make sure you have access to that. Now, when you send me emails, you could always reply to those. Those will come to me. You could use my email address, esponza@qcc.cuny.edu. It's on the syllabus and we'll go over that again later. You could always send that to me, and certainly I'll take any emails from you from whatever email account you prefer. But again, any emails that come from me will always go to your QCC account. Now, you can set that account up to forward to another preferred account if you choose, but just so you know and to realize that's where the information is going. Okay, last, YouTube. This video is posted under YouTube. All the other instructional videos I make will also be posted under YouTube. Everything gets put under my username, QCC Sponza. So that way, if you ever lose it, forget a link or something, you could always go search QCC Sponza on YouTube. I'm the first one that comes up. Click on me and then you can go through the videos. All the videos I make are sorted by class and section. The sections will go along with our textbook. So for you guys, I don't separate Calculus 1 versus Calculus 2. It'll just be Calc. So one of our first sections will be section 5.2 in the book. So it'll be listed Calc 5.2. So you could always find those. I don't have any particular preference or allegiance to YouTube. It's just a convenient website for any basic device, whether you're using a smartphone, whether you're on your laptop, your desktop, whether you're using a tablet. All those, like they have specific YouTube apps or can be accessed through the regular internet. Even smart TVs, most of the smart TVs have a direct YouTube app, or again, have some other way through the internet you can get on YouTube and you can watch them there. Again, YouTube has a few other conveniences. It almost always attaches a closed captioning. So if you have to listen in a situation where you have the volume down, you could still bring that up. It does a very good job of translating as well from the videos that I've watched and seen. So overall, it certainly does a very good job. Just a little bit for your information. These videos I used last semester when we switched to an online mode. And overall, my students really gave me a lot of good positive feedback that really hit to what they needed. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. So that's our big overall setup. That Blackboard is our information hub. Everything will be sent through email, you contacting me, my contact to you, and then the videos will be posted on Blackboard. But let's stick with the online idea for a moment. Let's talk a little bit more. Let's talk about our week-to-week presentation, what to expect, a little bit more about how, grading and things will work. We'll get some of those other details when we get to the syllabi. But again, let's just kind of keep this online mode going for a little bit. So thinking about week to week. Our class technically meets Monday and Wednesday from 8:10 to 10:30 p.m. at night. We are not going to have any meetings where you have to be at your computer at those designated times. For our first day of class, Wednesday is the day that college began. You got your first email on Monday pointing you to this video, but for all other weeks, I will send emails out on Monday with the entire week's worth of material. My emails, not only will I have all important documents, notes, and the links to the videos, I'll also have some basic general description, some information. If people have asked some questions and I want to share some feedback, some things that have been going on. If it's something that's, outside of class, maybe there's some new information about what's going on with the library, if there's different access, things of that nature, I'll always share that. And I also try and encourage, give a little bit of like a timetable, some recommendations as far as how and when you should move through the material. So sticking with that for another moment, I make the videos, post, have my notes attached. We could always communicate and I can make more and we could have other feedback, but that's the main way that this class is going to be run. So as far as the actual hours of the class, that's up to you if you want to use those hours exactly. Now, for a lot of people who sign up for this class, some it's just the class that was open in that time frame, but a lot of others, they're signing up because of some other reason. This fits into their schedule, they have a lot of other responsibilities. Whatever that may be, I'm intending to set this up so that you have as much freedom and flexibility to get through the material on your schedule. Now, you still have to get back to it. That's not any kind of a free pass to push things off. You still want to make sure you're moving, but just a couple of quick things about math. Technically, again, we're meeting 2.5 hours twice a week. That's an awful long time to really focus on math in one sitting. And if we were meeting in that in-person schedule, I would make an extra point about that, talking about how that is quite difficult to really keep yourself focused and engaged. For a lot of people, you hit that 60, 90-minute mark, the brain is tired and you're already starting to forget things that happened earlier in the session. So as I set up our videos and our course material, maybe you want to tweak that. Maybe you would prefer to set up 4 hour-long setups, hour-long sit-downs where you're really going to focus on watching videos. There's going to be other time necessary for homework and things, but just thinking about trying to recreate that class experience, you need to find some sort of a schedule. It's very easy to just kind of put things on the back burner and forget about them. So you definitely want to make some sort of a schedule. But in my email, I'll try and emphasize what sections need some more time. What sections are a little bit longer, have a little bit more material that's going to be built upon. Math by its nature is cumulative, and calculus, we're going to see an awful lot of that. But certain sections are a little bit easier than others. So I will point that out in our emails. And as we have some off days here and there, point out these are opportunities to try and catch up a little bit. This is a little bit of a lighter week. Make sure you're caught up, or gives you a little bit of an opportunity to get ahead. I always have videos recorded in advance, even if they're not a part of our up-to-date material. The next week's videos are pretty much always there if you want to look ahead a little bit. But again, our basic week to week, I send you an email on Monday at the beginning of the week with a basic setup for the rest of the week. And then you may hear from me a little bit more throughout the week, but that's going to be the main email that kind of set things up. And then from there, any questions, concerns that you have, questions about specific problems, questions that come up while you're watching the video, any of that, please just certainly make sure you send me an email and we can continue to respond and go back and forth. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's talk about homework. Homework is really just for you. That's its only purpose. Homework is for you. It's not collected. It's not graded. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about the distribution of points a little later on, but I do not collect or grade any homework. Your homework is used as your measuring stick on how well you're understanding the material from that section. Gives you a chance to go through, see the directions, see problems that you get to start on your own, and that's your measuring stick, like I keep saying. Now, again, we'll keep coming back to this, talking the differences between in-person versus online, but just as the same thing happens in an in-person situation, in that sometimes people leave a class, feel good, feel like they really understood the material, but they don't get the reinforcement of doing it themselves, and that's never going to be a good recipe for success, especially in a class that's as tough as Calculus 2 is. So you really want to make sure you're taking advantage of the homework. No matter what your background is, that's your measuring stick. You've seen the video, but now make sure you can do it. Because even after you watch a video and you feel good and you've gone through the notes, it's surprising how often when you go to start your own homework problems on your own, that you still kind of go back and look at a previous problem for a little bit of guidance. Well, how do I get started? What are the directions telling me? And all that is valuable, and the homework certainly helps with that as well. But eventually, you do want to have that comfort that you could start a random problem, work to completion, and get a correct answer. In math, the two tough parts. First, knowing what needs to be done, and then second, being able to actually do it. With whether it's arithmetic, algebra, graphing, whatever that happens to be, there really are two components, and they're both equally tough. So, homework is going to be a very big key for that. All the homework